Welcome back to the homework review for lesson 22, where we have tangents and secants, proofs, and practice. So number 4, in the diagram shown in circle A, tangent MB is drawn along with chords BAC and chord BF. Now BAC is not just any chord, it's a diameter. So keep that in mind, it's important for us. Secant MFE intersects BAC at point G. It is known that the measure of angle FBC is going to be 52 degrees, and the measure arc BE is 138. So the first question is we're going to try to find the measure of angle BF, arc BF actually. So arc BF is going to be this arc here, this one here. Okay, all right. So now, well, how can we figure this out? Well, a couple of things. We know that since our diameter is diameter BAC, that the two arcs that make up, in this case, BFC, or the semicircle, must add to 180. So here, the measure of angle FBC equals 1/2 the measure of the arc FC, and this is because it's an inscribed angle. Its vertex is on the circle and its two sides are chords. Well, we know the measure angle FBC, that's 52, equals 1/2 the measure of arc FC. Well, if we multiply both sides by 2, we can find the measure of arc FC, and that becomes 104 degrees. So this is 104 degrees. Well, if that's 104, then the measure of arc, in this case, measure arc BF, sorry, erase this here, my handwriting is dreadful, I apologize. Measure arc BF is really going to be equal to the measure of arc BFC minus the measure of arc FC. So really, the measure of arc BF is equal to 180 minus 104, and that's equal to 76 degrees. Okay? So the measure of arc BF equals 76 degrees. And I'll circle that in red, actually. And so make this 76 degrees. Now this will probably be important for us in a later question, because I get the feeling that we actually, yes, have to find the measure of angle M. And the measure of angle M is equal to 1/2 the measure of the arcs intercepted. Here, well, difference in this case, 1/2 the difference of the arcs intercepted. And so one arc is definitely BF, but the other arc is going to be BE. So these two arcs are going to help determine the measure of angle M. So it's be the measure of arc BE minus the measure arc BF. Again, the reasoning is if you have an angle formed by a tangent and a secant meeting outside the circle, then the measure of the angle is equal to 1/2 the difference of the two arcs intercepted. And so here, the measure of angle M is 1/2 of 138 minus 76. Okay, so we subtract 138 minus 76, and we should get a value of 62 degrees. So in this case, the measure of angle M is equal to 1/2 of 62 degrees. Therefore, the measure of angle M is equal to 31 degrees. So 31 degrees. And so I'll put this here because we may need that later on too. Who knows? So our next question we have for question number 4, because it's 4 of them, it's a very involved problem. And again, writing your diagram very big helps you to fill in the information you need. Measure of angle BGE. Well, the measure of angle BGE just happens to be the same exact measure of angle FGC because they're vertical angles. And when you have two chords intersecting in a circle, the angle, the measure of the angle formed by the intersection will be 1/2 the sum of the two arcs intersected. Here, our first arc will be arc BE, and our second arc will be arc FC. So we're going to take those two values. So the measure of angle BGE is equal to 1/2 the sum of the measure of arc BE plus the measure of arc FC. Again, 1/2 the sum will be, in this case, the average. So we're going to take, in this case, the measure of angle BGE equals 1/2. Well, we're going to have measure arc BE is 138. 138. And the measure of arc FC is 104. And so if we add that together, 138 plus 104 is going to be 242 degrees. But that's not the measure of angle BGE. 242. The measure of angle BGE is going to be half of that. So the measure of angle BGE is equal to really 121 degrees. And so we're going to fill that in here. Okay, 121 degrees. And finally, we want to find the measure of angle MFB. So the measure of angle MFB is going to be here, MFB. So let's see, MFB. Well, a couple of things. You know, here we are going to say to ourselves, well, you know, that's not an angle that we have a rule for because it's not really a tangent and a chord. It's really a chord and a secant. But let's also take a look at the following. We also know that if we extend this way, the measure of angle BFE is going to be the supplement of the measure of angle BFM because they form a linear pair. Two angles linear pair, the supplementary. Therefore, we will first find the measure of angle BFE equals 1/2 the measure of arc, it looks like BE. Why? Because it is the arc intercepted by angle BFE. Therefore, the measure of angle BFE equals 1/2 of 138 degrees, which is equal to, well, half of 138 is going to be 69 degrees. So we know this is 69 degrees, but that's not the answer because we're looking for the measure angle MFB, this angle here. And so that being the case, the measure of angle MFB is equal to 180 minus the measure of angle BFE. So the measure of angle MFB equals 180 minus 69 is equal to 111 degrees. Okay, and so here we need to actually find a lot of different pieces, and they kind of work together, but you had to find other things first. Just going to show that a lot of these questions require a lot of different steps. Okay, so I'm going to stop here for this question because it really took up a lot of time, and I want to make sure you guys go over this. I'm going to make this a full screen so you can see everything. So again, where did it start? Okay, part of it started just finding an arc because they asked to find arc BF, but from there, how do we find the arc? We needed to understand we're using the inscribed angle to find the arc. From this arc, we were able to help find another missing piece, in this case for BF, which is actually the arc we're looking for. That arc BF was used to help find the measure angle M. And then in this case, to find BGE, we used arc FC again. So a lot of these are tied together. They're not so much direct in finding material. So this is the end of part 2. I know it's a little short, but you know what though? I want to make sure we have enough time to finish the last question, part 3. It's a very involved question as well, too. Okay, so again, please add a like to this video if you really found it helpful. Appreciate any questions or comments you might have. Even if you have any suggestions of other topics to do besides circles that you want to do a review on. Thanks for watching. Please take care and be safe.